Before the world sees your wins, your soul has to feel your work. It's the reps nobody applauds that produce the wins that do, all through a shifting of your identity into a dominator. This is all done in the dark every single day. So let me be your guide as I welcome you to this episode of the Dark Work Daily. I want to talk about the compliment you've been living down to. It's a crazy way to think about it, right? Like compliment you've been living down to, right? I find that all of us humans have a desire to be desired. Big ways, small ways, no matter what it is. But identity doesn't always necessarily get locked in from a criticism. Someone saying you're stupid or you're dumb. It could be easily somebody saying, hey, you're the reliable one, aren't you? And you know what? You're the most practical one in the family. And that person, honestly, has given you a compliment, right? But here's the thing. You have to shrink down to it sometimes. When I say shrink to it, I mean, if there's a statement made about you of what you are and you want to maintain that compliment, there are times when you have to play down below yourself to maintain it. Here's an example. If somebody says you're the reliable one, what does that mean? That means that you're the person that they can rely upon to show up, to follow through, right? But what if you're having to follow through with something that you don't believe in? Like, I'm a man of faith. There's certain things I don't believe in. I don't care if you want me to be the reliable one. If you want me to be reliably showing up to give minors alcohol because they're like my cousins, that's not going to happen. You want me to reliably show up to some fist fight that you got yourself into that you shouldn't have because you were doing something wrong with someone's spouse or girlfriend or something wrong in school. Yeah, I'm not the reliable one to show up and fall down to the level that you're at to get in trouble with you. You see what I'm saying? Like, it may not seem like it's a straight line, but sometimes the reliable one is the one, you're the practical one. So like, then you can't play big and do crazy things because you're supposed to be the practical one, right? Not every compliment is actually a positive thing. Sometimes a compliment's a very confining thing because you have to play down to a space. And I want you to think about the positivity labels we get. The ones where someone, accepts this thing uncritically. We don't pay attention to what this means. It eventually becomes a ceiling for you. A space you can't go beyond. And while in a lot of places, like, there may make sense to have that label as a good one, you're a great team leader because you fought for that. Think about accepting labels you fought for, not ones that somebody just gave you. It could just be flattering, it sounds good, or it could be a problem. And if you don't look at what it is, it's a limitation that'll actually get to the point of defining you long before you know it's defined you. Until maybe it's too late and you're years on the road. Dominators, they author their own identity. They step back and go, who do I want to be? What does my life require of me to be dominant in the way I have to? Submitters, man, they step in and they let somebody call them something and they choose that personality because people like that personality. They like me like this. And maybe they do, but does that mean you got to be that person? You got to push over a passive human? Not at all. See, I remember when I was, this is honest, when I was in the NFL, my rookie year, I was the guy that my rookie year thought I was like college. You got a job, you're going to be here. It ain't like that. In fact, when the veterans would ask me to slow down, you're going too fast, I'd slow down, make it easy. Why? Because I want to be accepted by them. Oh, Trucks is good, man. Trucks listens, like, oh, cool. Wrong. See, what happened was when you watch film, you saw the veteran doing all right and the new guy not really doing too much, not standing out, not showing up. So what happens? Eventually I got cut. Not rocket science. And for some reason, I did get a great seat in my mind of like, now I'm done listening to these dudes ask me to do stuff and then bending the knee and being okay with slowing down on the rep or making it easier for them because, this is a football team. We all work. If your body's beating you up or you're too tough, then retire, big dog. And so the next year, I went to a different team, different mentality. I didn't have the mindset of being the guy that would listen to the veterans. I chose to be the guy that would go do what needed to be done to earn a job. I'm talking come downhill and hit somebody, buck somebody. I'm going hard. And what's funny is I had a play against a guy, can't think of his name, Mike. He's a fullback. Good dude, by the way, good dude. And I would come downhill in one play and I would hit him. He'd be like, hey, Trucks, man, slow down. Like, yeah, I bet, whatever. Next play, I hit him harder. Okay, you gonna do it like that? I am, man. I gotta get a job. Okay. Next play, we went to work and we were banging all practice. And what's crazy about it is the coaches saw it. That man respected me differently. Mike Sellers was his name. Good dude. And what's crazy about it is like, Well, he was good to me, I'll say. What's crazy about it, I learned something very interesting in that setting right there. I chose to be dominant that season. I chose to show up as the man that I needed to show up as to earn the job I needed to earn to be part of the team so I could pay for my family. And the thing that I realized was whenever you show up in life and you are submitting to people, submitting to hardship, you aren't dominant. You don't get to hang around dominators. So in doing what I did, that was my crucible to get into they'll call it the club of respect, of realizing like this dude ain't just gonna bend the knee for nobody. He's not gonna just be a pushover. Because now you can go to battle with a guy that you know he's not gonna be a pushover when the other team does something. This dude's gonna rear up and go to work. And that little thing was a change for not only how I showed up in that team, but how I've showed up in life ever since. I don't embrace and take on the monikers that somebody gives me unless I've chosen to take those on. And you should do the exact same thing. Unless you've chosen that that is a moniker you want, a compliment that resonates deeply with what you want to be seen as, don't accept it. It might be prison and you have no idea. Because truthfully, the comment that you've been enjoying, you actually might be living down to.
If this episode stirred something in you, good. That means there's work to be done. Don't ignore it because listening is just the beginning. Because real change happens when you engage and you commit. So I invite you to join the Dark Work community inside the Dark Work app, which is where you communicate with amazing people on the same journey as you. You can find them on the App Store and the Google Play Store right now. Step into the conversations that sharpen your habits, strengthen your identity, and keep you locked in to the Dark Work.